Hello everybody, how you doing today? This is Endoralis, and we are actually here to speak about a particular thing when it comes to this world. We're talking about Overwatch, and something that came out recently that I want to touch on so that everyone could understand why in certain games things are being changed and why certain things are being done, and the upcoming thing that's going to be happening pretty much, I believe, September 6th. So September 6th, they plan on starting a second season, which is why all ranked is shut down. And they have changed a lot of things, so many things. So I have to scroll up, let you know. So right now, there's a public test realm available for Overwatch. And while I'm not in that, and they have all these rules for participating, there's specific things that have been changing in this in the entire thing. They've changed stuff. Specifically in competitive play, they made an introduction of skill tiers, which they said will help better communicate relative skill levels. So instead of the 1 to 80 scale, which you constantly go up on there, they have this skill rating where you start off from 1 to 5,000. And it gives more detailed information about each match. Sudden death is going away in season 2, so now if you know two sides are draw, it'll just end in the draw apparently, which is weird. So they made the game mode to reduce the chance of a draw. So if you have a Hanamura or whatever, and you get two sides that are almost winning, they'll just leave it there. Oh, and they also made this penalty. So the top 500 system, they made it where people will lose stuff. The more important part is they have a new map, and I've seen clips, and I'm sure you all have seen clips of what the new maps look like through the new Bastian movie. If you haven't seen that Bastian movie, you should go look at it. I'll put a link in it below. And there's a map based on that Bastian movie that explains his background. That is one of the old place during the Omnic crisis, which is when the Omnics and the humans fought against each other and eventually came to an understanding. That was a key battle. And they even have this new skin based on Reinhardt, who's my favorite character, his old general named Baldric von Adler, who just took a whole bunch of Crusaders and flanked their army, and they break them down. But you know, he died after so much damage. None of the Crusaders did not make it back, except for Reinhardt, I suppose. So there's a new skin coming out, so that's great. But the updates are what's important. So now the ultimates, Symmetra now reports her number of charges left on her teleporter. So before, her teleporter would let so many people through and then break down. No one will know when it will break down. So she will either have to do another teleporter or something along those minutes. So now you know that. Oh, okay. So now, when people heal or act for healing, it'll tell everyone to group up for healing. Torbjorn apparently can now be an AI. That's scary. And now there's a skill rating. So let's go to competitive play. So competitive play rating now is measured in 1 to 5,000 scale instead of 1 to 100. And there's skill tiers, kind of like any MOBA game. So they have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and grandmaster. So bronze is 1 to 1,499, and then silver is that 500 in between 1,500 and 1,999, and gold, platinum, diamond, master are all the same, variations of 500. So you just add 500 more for each one. But grandmaster is 1,000 higher, so it's anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000. You won't drop out of your tier in the first 5, even your skill rating goes below. But in Master and Grandmaster, if you do go below, you'll drop to the lower tier. They make it where Grandmaster and Master has to be within 500, and you have to be, if you're Diamond tier and below, must be within 1,000 rating of their group mates. Okay, cool. skill rating degrades. So Diamond Master and Grandmaster degrades after 7 days. Oh wow, if you're not participating in the competitive match for 7 days, you will lose skill rating. So now people who are like competitive nature, now I'm not sure if you're competitive nature, they have to go ahead and, you see this, they have to like play pretty much at least once a week, which is fair, I suppose. But I mean, it makes it where in a single match will halt skill rating decay. Okay, so that's fine. Immediately drop out of the top 500. Wow. If you don't play command match for 7 days. They made differences to several refinements were made to the time bank system for Hanamura, Temple of Anubis, and Volskaya Industries. The time bank system has been added to Dorado, Hollywood, Kings Road, Nubani, Route 66. What's the time bank? I don't know what that is. We'll find out. Time grant for taking objectives in Dorado, Hanamura, Hollywood, Kings Road, Nubani, Route 66, Temple Anubis, Volskaya Industries has been reduced from 5 to 4 minutes. So before, you know, if it was like the last ditch effort where you would rush one, get 5 minutes to go to the next one, you'd be fine. But they reduced each one to 4 minutes, so you lose a whole minute. But they added the time bank system. Existing competitive points saved from Season 1 will be multiplied by 10. After winning a competitive match, players will now receive 10 competitive points instead of 1. Okay, that's nice. Players will now receive 3 competitive points for a draw. So you get less for a draw and more for a win. That's kind of mean. The cost of golden weapons has also been multiplied by 10 from 300 to 3,000. So I don't know if you know this, but in the game Overwatch, there's these things called golden weapons, and they're pretty much just shiny nice items that says, hey, I won a lot and I'm pretty good at the game. Here's my shiny version of weapon. And sometimes it doesn't even look that good. Like for Reinhardt, his hammer looks worse gold. But for other people, it's not that case. So for other people, the gold weapons look pretty cool, but now it's times 10. So that means you have to try the same amount, because instead of seeing 1, you get 10. But the number is insurmountable, because now when you do draws, you get 3 points instead of being, you know, get a sudden death and getting that win in. So you just have to lose 7 points. Players with more than 6,000 points at the start of Season 2 will no longer accrue points by playing competitive matches. End of season rewards will be granted to players at the soft cap. Okay, so instead of going sudden death, tie matches now result in a draw. And it says click for more of that, but nah. Players must now win at least 50 competitive matches to be able to be in a spot in the top 500. So you just have to win 50 matches. That's not bad. Players must now compete more matches to clear their penalty status for leaving a competitive match early. Now that I'm glad about. So there used to be this huge problem, and there still kind of is in any MOBA / competitive online game, where people will get this thing called salty or tilted, and they would do they basically leave, or they would complain the entire game, or they would purposely do things to make your team lose. And they want to crack down on this, so I guess they made this thing where people can't just leave and then be okay with it. So it's a huge problem. Losing 500, oh man, losing competitive points more makes it basically where they have to be there for the whole game. I guess that's not that bad, and they have to learn. Alright, so let's go to the meat of the bones, the hero balance updates. They made ultimates that consume the ultimate meter when activated will now drain the meter more quickly. Oh crap. So McCree and people like him are going to be just losing their ultimates real quick. Reverted change the size of hero projectiles. Now this is important. So back in they reversed it in the previous patch where everyone's hitboxes basically got smaller. They reverted that. So people like Hanzo and a lot of characters, actually, pretty much most characters require more skill to hit things. Now they don't. Now they require less skill. So characters like Zenyatta, who couldn't quite do his job because it was harder to hit with his small little orbs, can now hit with hitbox instead of, right on the body frame and everything. So you have to do headshots. So that's been reduced, so that's fine. But people like Hanzo now can just aim at your shoulder and one-shot you in the head. I assume they're going to change something with that, otherwise this is going to be ridiculous. Most hero abilities will no longer interrupt quick melee attacks. And this is bad, because that means you can no longer do melee attack cancel combos with like Ana or Genji or any of those characters, so they can do attack and deal quick damage in between. But ultimate abilities now do at least. Diva's defense matrix, as you can see, was made where regeneration in 1 second instead of 1.5. Hanzo will now experience a 30% decrease in speed with aiming. So when Hanzo pulls back his arrow, he normally slows down long enough, which is, if you're aiming at him, makes him easier to hit. And now with the changes in hitbox and stuff, it makes it where he's easier to kill when he's aiming that hard. But now that his speed has been increased effectively by 10%, he still can now basically get around. And it's a lot harder to hit him. But then, and they also increased his maximum projectile speed by 30%, but reduced his arrow size by 33. So they gave us back the hitbox, but they got rid of Hanzo having a ridiculous hitbox, but made his arrows faster, so they kill you faster. May's Blizzard now pierces barriers. Oh no, Reinhardt's gonna cry. And the radius has been, her radius for her ult has been increased from 8 meters to 10 meters. That's terrible. Oh man. So now the Blizzard projectile now pierces barriers, so it goes straight through wall. Oh no. Does that mean her wall too? Oh my goodness. Her wall counts as an obstacle, but if it can go through barriers, that would be pretty scary. So McCree, his Deadeye now drains 2.5 per second, 0.25 seconds per period, instead of displaying a 50% reduction on ultimate meter when activated and 0% when confirmed. Yeah, it pretty much regenerated way too quickly. Mercy's healing per second been increased by 20%, so now she heals like 60 or 80 instead. And her resurrect will be to maneuver after 2.0, so after 2.7, so we can move even faster. So Mercy actually became better, but the problem is Mercy still can't get around, and she still requires a team. But now she heals so much, it's way better. Oh, Genji. Okay, so Genji can no longer double jump when wall climbing, and no longer resets. His dash no longer deals damage to traps. His no longer bypasses Junkrat's trap, so he slashes, he gets caught. Swift Strike no longer interrupt quick melee attacks, so you can't. Dragon Blade can is only 6 seconds. Oh no! Oh, they just shat on him. Oh goodness! Amp it up. Lucio's movement speed buff had been boosted down to 70%. I mean, that's not that bad. He was pretty much a must pick, but Lucio's a must pick. They shouldn't have touched Lucio. Roadhog got a chain hook. The hook target isn't Roadhog's line of sight. With Track Hood, they'll be moved back to the position when they originally hooked. That's fair. Heavy pulse rifle. It happens more quickly when unloading full automatic pulse rifle. Significantly increased bullet spread. Okay, cool. Zenyatta got a buff. The amount of damage amplified by a target, or is it? Oh no, they decreased it from 50 to 30. Oh man, that's like almost half. So he does less damage. Oh, but they increased his orb of destruction to 46 instead of 40. Oh man, that's stupid. And then they went and buffed and did some stuff to the map. The first checkpoint got removed, so they just made it where there was no need for the first checkpoint. And they fixed a whole bunch of bugs and AI. Well, that was the public test realm Overwatch patches that they are testing right now, and now you're more educated in what happens. You can go and know that Genji got shat on and Zenyatta is still bad. Alright, so that was me doing the patch notes. If there's anything else you need to know, you can stop my stream and somehow in between, you know, lock it where you need to read yourself. I'm gonna make it nice and good and easy for you to read. I hope you have a wonderful day, and may the Zen be with you.